When we are prosecuting a case, when the police and prosecutors are involved, we've already failed as a community. Because by definition, when there's a prosecution going on or there's a police investigation going on, it means something bad has already happened. And we do our job. I want to be very clear about that. We will prosecute serious offenses, right? But at the end of that trial, we've still got somebody who has lost their life, a family that is still grieving. We're not able to bring that person back. On the other side of the equation, we're sending somebody to prison for decades or possibly the rest of their life. It's a tragedy. Far better as a community that we work together to prevent that violence and those tragedies from occurring in the first instance. Now, look, I'm from Washtenaw County. I'm from Ann Arbor. And I know to a lot of people sometimes talk about this stuff. People say that sounds like progressive fairy tale nonsense, right? There needs to be harsh consequences, right? And you need to send a message. Well, one thing we did early on in 2021 was we said, well, why don't we rewind this? And if we're just trying to get somebody help and get them services, we know they've got an underlying issue, why don't we give them an off-ramp before they even plead guilty to a crime? And set them up with an individualized plan and say, look, if you do everything we ask you to do and you don't commit a new criminal offense, we'll just dismiss this case entirely and you won't ever have to say that you pleaded guilty to a crime on that job application or that housing application or when you're trying to continue your education. And we've had nearly 200 people that have gone through this program, this pre-plea program where we get people an off-ramp and get them help. And an independent study was done. The recidivism rate was literally 0%, meaning not a single person in that program that successfully completed it reoffended. That is keeping the community safe in the long term. That is preventing crime. And by the way, it's also doing right by the people that are involved in our justice system.